it's hard to talk about him in the past. Our son, he was the kind of man that was caring and loving and committed and determined and loyal.
I'll say Joe was a very open person. I think that's what attracted people to him, and honest. That's what I think drew other people in. They knew that what they were seeing is who he was, and that was it. You know, there wasn't any agendas, anything like that. He was just Joe.
You know, as a mother, when your children grow up, you want them to be happy and to have a good life and to be. And Joseph had built a life for himself that fit him. You have to know a little bit about Joe's past to know why that is so important to him and to us. Joseph was born with cerebral palsy, and he was nearly taken from us because of the medical injury when he was 2 days old. We were told he might not walk, he might not talk, and then he surpassed so much.
First of all, he may not live, you know.
He did, he thrived, but he thrived on a different timeline.
Everything you take for granted, it wasn't for granted for him.
But the thing with him is that it didn't define him, and it didn't define us as a family.
To be parents of a little boy that you thought might not make it past a couple days, and then watch him not only just make it thrive, as you said.
And it was him that did it. I mean, we provided opportunities, but he took them and ran with them.
That's what any parent would want, their child to continue succeeding and doing well and pushing themselves. And he was on that path.
He was, and he was happy, right? He was happy while doing it, and he had his own interest in music. And I'm wearing one of his shirts. It's the first time in 2.5 years I've worn anything of his. But I wanted to today. It still feel him, and it still smell him.
He's 33 years old, in the prime of his life.
Yeah.
His first date.
Yeah.
I just think so many parents think like, that's my kid at this time. I could be in the same situation, you know?
He had every right to be walking down the sidewalk that night.
Court documents revealing the accused driver's extreme level of intoxication.
She didn't have the right to do what she did, to take our son.
Prosecutors say Chambers was speeding and hopped the curb, then hit the victim.
We first saw it on the news. Didn't know it was our son.
We found out, you know, I had surgery the next morning scheduled, so I had to be up at, I think, 6.
Video captured the crash on Westheimer that killed 33-year-old Joseph McMullin.
There's an early story about someone had walked out of a VooDoo Donut and a car killed him. I looked at my wife and said, man, some poor guy just wanted to end up his night on a damn donut and he got killed, you know, and that's what we left with, and we went to the hospital. She's in the waiting room waiting for me to come out of surgery because I was still under, and she gets the call from the ME. It was a really rough way to, you know, find out about it. And then she had to pull everyone together, but then come see me and tell me when I came out. You know, nurses brought me up out of anesthesia, and they knew what was going on, and they had to tell me after that. And, you know, so that's how we found out.
I want to talk about Joe. What came into Joe's life and all of our lives, and what she's taken away from us. He was so gentle and loving and so excited to be an uncle. And when Joe was killed, Anna was about a month and a half away from having her second baby. And so now we have Joelle. They named her after Joe. A part of our family is gone forever. And he was such a big part of our family that it's different now for us. And this happened for us at a beautiful time in our lives. We're new grandparents. Our lives are different because he's no longer here.
What do you want other parents who, you never thought you'd be part of this group or here, spending as many days in the courthouse as you have? Is there anything that you'd want other people navigating this to know, to feel, anything?
When it first started, we just trusted the system, that everything was just going to happen. And you can't just sit back and hope everyone does their job. Stay in contact with people. Don't just sit back and think they've got it.
Be your own advocate.
Right. You have to be your own advocate. We were advocates all through life, and especially she was amazing with them, and now I have to advocate to get through this process. But there was days we didn't want to get out of bed, and we didn't for sometimes days at a time, and then, you just have to get up and then keep going. The grief is just, I never knew what grief was. I mean, it's crushing. It is literally crushing. It's hard. It's hard just to, put on a smiley face and go out the door some days.
It was senseless. His death was unnecessary and completely avoidable. We don't need to speed in life. We don't need to drink and use drugs and drive. We don't. We ask always of everybody to borrow his strength and his courage in life. And I do that because he was a very courageous person. Joe knows us and knows what we would be doing. And he knows and would want us to continue on. I know that. It's just so hard without him. It's just so hard. So my message would be that we are today continuing on for Joe. We're doing this for Joe. We have to. And I know we have other reasons in our lives, but today is for Joe.